Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today behind me, Lexus sent me the 2024 Lexus TX 350 all-wheel drive luxury trim level, which is fully loaded in the TX lineup. Now I do want to mention that this is a pre-production model as seen behind me. So if you see anything that looks incorrect, any materials on the inside, anything like that, that is different from some of the other videos out there or at your local dealership, that is probably the reason for that. Although I have not found a single thing that is out of place here with this vehicle behind me. Now anyways, the TX is all new for the 2024 model year. As we know, it shares a platform with the Toyota Grand Highlander, which I have briefly driven. And even though they do share some powertrains, drivetrains, stuff like that, they are tuned differently and certainly do have different styling and definitely have different unique personalities between each of these two. So without further ado, let's not waste more time. See what you get for about $69,000 to $70,000 here in the TX's lineup. So the TX in front of me is finished in the Cloudburst Gray exterior with the Peppercorn leather interior. This is a very unique color combination, and I really do like the Cloudburst Gray. It's the same exterior color that was found on the LC500 I did late last fall. Very nice gray metallic exterior, a little bit more on the darker side, and does have a bluish tint to it as well. Starting at the front end of this TX, you're gonna find full LED lighting with LED projector headlights, daytime running lights, and turn signals, all in that upper housing right there. And this vehicle does feature LED fog lights a little bit farther down on the front bumper. Now, as you can see with the TX's design, it has a lot of paint match body color here at the front of the vehicle with very little satin or bright chrome trim. The only piece as far as that goes connects the two headlights together, and overall is a very tasteful front end design, and I actually really do like it. You'll find front, rear, and side parking sensors on this particular vehicle, as well as the 360 surround view camera system located right there. And there is the chrome Lexus logo. That is really one of the only chrome aspects found on the outside. Now coming around to the side of the TX, you will find body color paint match trim for the wheel moldings and the lower door panels there. Once again, I think paint match cladding is my preference and looks a little bit more premium, and I really do like the way it is paired to these optional 22-inch alloy wheels. Now speaking of the wheel and tire setup, once again, these are the optional 22-inch wheels. 20-inch wheels will be the standard design, found in a slightly different finish. These are a nice medium gray metallic exterior, and they are wrapped in 255, 45, 22-inch Continental all-season tires, which are a very nice kind of higher performance regular all-season tire. Now coming up to the mirror caps, they're going to be body color, do have some slight chrome accents, LED turn signal integration, and there is a 360 camera system as well as puddle lights on the bottom. The driver's side and interior ones are going to be auto dimming, do have blind spot detection. Of course, they are going to be heated as well. You get proximity entry on all four door handles with some nice tasteful gloss black accents on the outside. And here, taking a look at the side profile of the TX, you can see the more boxy nature towards the back end of the vehicle. It does have a lot of interior cargo volume, and the only chrome accents are going to be found above the windows there. And you do have that gloss black kind of C and D pillar, if you will, that separate the body line towards the roof with the lower door section. Now, this vehicle does have side cross rails as well as the panoramic sunroof, which lets in a lot of additional light for the cabin itself. Now coming out back, the LED lighting will continue on, as well as the totally differentiated design language versus the sister vehicle, the Grand Highlander. So you can see here with the LED taillights, the strip that runs across the entire width is going to be the red tinted accent. Then you have your turn signals, reverse lights, all in these housings right there. Down below, you have some black plastic trim. I'm not exactly sure if this is the production spec, but it would be interesting to see that it is. It is the only use of black plastics like this on the exterior. You do have those rear and side parking sensors like I mentioned. There's your rear backup camera, and then you do have the Lexus spelled out on the tailgate instead of the regular Lexus logo. Personally, I think this looks a lot more premium, and I really do like the overall design language. And there is the TX 350 all-wheel drive badging, once again, because this one is all-wheel drive. And there is going to be the digital rear camera mirror, or the camera for that digital rear camera mirror, here located behind the glass inside of the actual vehicle instead of located underneath on the outside of the spoiler. So that's a look at the exterior here of this TX 350. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Are you TX or Grand Highlander? Interested to hear that. I personally think I like the TX just a little bit more, but they're both going to be very attractive vehicles. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the window sticker so you guys know exactly how this one is equipped, and then we'll jump onto the interior. Now, unfortunately, because this is a pre-production TX, it does not have an official window sticker from Lexus that lists all of the features, options, packaging, and pricing, but I do know it is a fully loaded luxury all-wheel drive model. So going over to Lexus's website and looking through all of the available packages, it has things like the convenience package with the digital key, the traffic jam assist, as well as the front cross traffic alert. It has the technology package, which is the heads-up display, panoramic view monitor, advanced park, etc. It also has the Mark Levinson 21 speaker surround sound system with the 6-passenger semi-aniline leather trim seating surfaces and second row heated and ventilated captain chairs, among a few additional accessories, which as you can see brings the MSRP to just over $70,000 including destination. So taking a look on the interior, once again, this one is optioned with the peppercorn leather interior. I believe there's 3 different interior color choices available depending on which exterior color you do choose. Starting out here on the door panel, you can see this is a 2-tone effect with the peppercorn kind of brownish purplish trim right here, and then the black accents on either side of it. Now, of course, this one being a fully loaded luxury trim comes with lots of soft touch materials, including this textured accent up top. You have that nice leather accent on the back, as well as the padded armrest with the lighter accent stitching. This one does have the upgraded Mark Levinson premium audio system. Power windows, mirrors, and locks. They are power folding mirrors, and all 4 windows are going to be automatic. There's your electronic door handle release that you push in for a button, and the emergency release you simply pull out twice just like that. Good amount of lower door storage and a nice large bottle holder, and there is the speakers for that audio system as mentioned. You do have a fully powered driver's seat with power leg extension and 4-way power lumbar. There's the peppercorn seating surfaces with the suede accents on the sides of the bolsters and the lower thigh section. And there's going to be a quick look at the dashboard. Now here on the inside of the TX, you're going to see some similarities with the sister vehicle, the Grand Highlander, but you also have a lot of unique Lexus accents that are carried throughout some of their other models as well. Starting in front of the driver, you're going to find the fully digital and configurable gauge cluster that is controlled here on the right side of the steering wheel. Now, using the heads-up display out there, you can see rubbing my finger around the buttons, you do get a preview of what button you're about to push using those steering wheel controls, but using the left and right arrows, that does change between the actual preview and the overall gauge cluster setup. There you can see cycling between 1, 2, and 3. Now, I do have a dedicated video here on the channel going over this gauge cluster technology as well as the infotainment system in a 2024 Grand Highlander, which is going to be very similar with just some minor changes for Lexus. Now, you can see just behind the steering wheel, you can see the eye detection or monitoring system that will monitor your face and eyes to make sure you are paying attention, and that will alert you via this digital cluster if you are distracted or anything like that. Steering wheel is going to be a very nice soft plush leather wrap. Of course, is going to be heated with those climate controls on the screen right there. Audio multimedia here on the left side, cruise control, Toyota Safety Sense, and those digital gauge cluster controls here on the right side. Paddle shifters for the 8-speed automatic transmission on the back. There's your automatic headlights, auto high beam assist, and this vehicle does have rain sensing wipers as well. To the left of the steering wheel, you have your trip odometer, which you can quickly cycle between there on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Now, there you should be able to see it now, cycling through between A, B, and your service interval right there. There's your fuel cap release as well as your power tailgate. And this vehicle does have 3-person memory driver's seat, which is a fantastic addition. Most of the time you only see 2-person, but great to see that you do have a continuation of 3-person for Lexus products. And there's your power tilt telescopic steering column right there. Now, as I've already shown, this vehicle does have the color heads-up display out there. There's a lot of different configuration you can do using those steering wheel controls and the different pages offered, such as your Bluetooth audio, and there's your regular audio controls right there. And then on the right side, you have your display settings for the heads-up display, as well as some of these systems for adaptive cruise and stuff like that. So a very nice system, pretty easy to use, and a good resolution. Coming over here to the infotainment system, this is your nice large 14-inch display with the integrated climate controls at the bottom, and then the upper section is going to be basically the same UI used in most recent Toyota and Lexus products. On the left side, you have all of your shortcuts for audio, multimedia, Android Auto, phone, car settings, as well as system settings. Make sure to check out that video here on the channel if you haven't already or are a little bit unfamiliar with what you have access to. But you can see this vehicle does have the drive mode, seat controls, driver assistance, all found on the touchscreen, which is a little bit different setup versus the Toyota Grand Highlander. So make sure to check that video out if you're curious about that. Taking a look just below that, you can see you do have your built-in climate controls, which are always labeled on the screen. Heated and ventilated first and second row seats, 2-stage heated steering wheel. Of course, you do have your automated systems, which I personally do love to use, which will use some of the ambient exterior temperatures, interior temperature, stuff like that, to choose whether you need heat your seat, cool your seat, or the steering wheel and stuff like that. There's your dual zone automatic climate control up front. You do have a third zone out back. There's some of your hard touch buttons for the defrosters, front, rear, and then there is your dedicated power and volume knob for the audio system. Down below, you have 2 AC vents. Here's your automated parking control, surround view monitor system, 3 USB-C charging and data ports, wireless charging pad for your phone. Actually is a very good size and location. It has some bumpers to keep it from moving around too much. Here's your shifter here in the center, very similar to that one found in the NX that I previewed last year here on the channel. Drive mode select, automatic vehicle hold, electronic parking brake. You do have some of your train selecting down here, and then there's your engine stop start off button if you don't want to use that system. Coming to the cup holders, these are going to be one of the most unique aspects about the interior of the TX, and that they are not only square in design, but somewhat modular. You can actually unlock them with that button right there and pull it out and take it with you if you want. Not exactly sure why you'd want to take it with you, but you can. They did give you that option, and of course they will snap back into place as seen right there. There's a regular kind of, I think, 20-ounce Yeti mug. Fits in there nice and snug with a little bit room to spare. Coming to the center console, nice soft touch padded split folding design, which is personally my preference. That way you can keep one half closed if you have a passenger or something. Good amount of storage space inside. Looks like there is a little light in here and no additional ports or anything like that. Up top, you have a black headliner. Is nicely soft touch, but is not a suede material. There's your LED vanity illumination, auto dimming, and digital rear view camera mirror with garage home link on the bottom. You can see if you flip it down, you have access to all of your settings there, which are custom tailored to your obviously personal driving preferences, seating position, stuff like that. So really do like the adjustments you have there. Up top, there's a sunglasses holder, LED overhead illumination. There's your sunroof and power shade controls, as well as your SOS emergency services. And taking a look at that panoramic sunroof, we'll go ahead and open it up for you guys, just because it is a pretty nice day outside. This is mostly a one-piece construction and opens up actually pretty far there. One of the larger openings I've seen in a vehicle like this in a few years, but is a one-touch power function. Of course, can stay popped up for additional ventilation. So that's a look at the front seat. Let's go ahead and take a look out back. Take a look at the back seat of the TX. All the materials are going to follow through from the front seats as well. So you can see on the door panel, all the same soft touch materials are found here. You do have the manual side shades, which you can hook up right there. Good amount of lower door storage, same electronic release. And then there is lock and unlock buttons back here for second row occupants as well. Coming to the seats, this is going to be a 6-passenger configuration when you do choose the heated and ventilated captain chairs as part of the equipment on this vehicle. So do keep that in mind, as this is only a 6-passenger, 2, 2, and 2, no matter which row you look at. You have all of your manual adjustments for the slide, recline, and fold down here on the side, as well as an electronic release up top to gain easier access to the third row of the vehicle. So stepping inside behind my driving position, immediately you can see there is going to be a ton of space back there with at least 7 or 8 inches once again behind where I drive. There's a quick look at the front dashboard. In terms of rear seat amenities, we do have the heated and ventilated seats as part of the equipment on this one. Third zone automatic climate control, USB-C charging ports, map pockets on both of the front seats, and you do have a very interesting design here with the cup holders once again. And that not only are the cup holders removable by themselves, so you get these same pods as the front seats, but the whole entire console itself is removable via one lever at the front right there. You can simply pull it up and it will detach. So if you want to take this with you anywhere with drinks, or just to have a little platform to keep your drinks, you can go ahead and set it on a table, picnic table, anything like that. And it is a pretty easy to use system, and it locks right back into place like that. Of course, you do have your armrests for both of the captain chairs back here. AC vents and LED lighting located on the headliner right there. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. And you can see the panoramic sunroof lets in a lot of light and pretty much stops right at the backs of the second row. So that's a look at the second row, and one of the parts that I am most happy to report on is the third row comfort in a vehicle like this, and I know Toyota and Lexus are extremely happy with it as well. Now, getting access to the third row is awesome because not only does the seat allow for a lot of room. You also have a little additional integrated step down here, which typically is not found on many SUVs of similar sizing. So stepping inside, you have a ton of space to get back here into the third row, and then you just simply pull the seat back and it will latch into a very similar spot in which it was when it was pushed forward. Now here in the third row, behind a very, very comfortable second row occupant, as you can see, I have like 1 or 2 inches of room before my knees even touch the seat back, and I have actually a good amount of foot room down below. So yeah, in terms of third row comfort, this is by far one of the best mid-size 3-row SUVs I've been in terms of occupant space. Now amenities back here in the way this one is equipped, you do have a power tilt and recline function on your left and right hand side respectively, so you can get a little bit more comfortable here in the third row. You have a nice soft touch leather padded armrest, which is great for third row occupants. Huge side window glass to see outside so you don't get as car sick or claustrophobic. And then there is the USB-C charging and that power recline like I just mentioned, with your provisions for the cargo privacy cover as well. So yeah, this by far has to be one of the best third row seats I've been in a vehicle of this size, and all of the materials do follow through from the first and second rows, which is fantastic to see. So that's a look at the third row seating. Let's go ahead and take a look at cargo capacity, which once again keeps on impressing. So take a look at the cargo capacity with the third row up, and then I will go ahead and fold the third row seats down. You can see behind the third row, there is a great amount of cargo capacity. Here's my tripod as well as a snow brush for reference, but you have probably close to 2 feet till you hit the bottom very backs of the third seats. You have the power folding third row seat controls right here. Unfortunately, you cannot fold the second row seats from the back storage area, which is really kind of a feature I would expect on a vehicle of this price point. But you do have a 12-volt outlet down here, subwoofer for the premium audio system, and luckily you do have some additional underfloor storage in this vehicle where you can store the cargo privacy cover down there and just a couple smaller items. And there's your jack for the roadside toolkit. Now, like I said, I did want to put the third row seats folded down so you guys can see some of the space behind the second row. And while that is happening, you see it's a little bit on the slower side of things. Taking a look beneath the vehicle, you can see there is not going to be a temporary spare tire under there, unfortunately, as that is where your exhaust system is. I believe the temporary spare tire is actually found beneath the floor here. So if you simply pull this up in some fashion, your temporary spare tire is going to be located down there. You can kind of see the tire tread. And I don't want to take this entire plastic piece apart, but that might not be the easiest thing to get to, but you can see right there, there is some instructions on how to do that. Now with the third row seats folded down, you can see that just opens up an immense amount of available cargo capacity, and the second row seats manually do fold down using a 2-step process right there. So certainly one of the larger SUVs in this mid-size 3-row segment in terms of not only passenger volume, but cargo volume as well. Now wrapping up here on the passenger front seat, of course materials are going to be the same as the driver's side, and in terms of the seat positions, you can see still have the same power adjustments, 4-way power lumbar and power leg extension, which is fantastic. And there's a better look at the dashboard with the suede materials here on the underside, nice silver accent trim. Glove box is going to be damped, does not unfortunately have any illumination inside, but is going to be a nice felt lined and a good usable size indeed. So yeah, that's a look at the interior of the Lexus TX 350 Luxury. Let's go ahead and pop the hood, see what powers this particular vehicle, and then go ahead and wrap up this video. So under the hood of the 2024 TX 350, you're going to find the 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. This engine puts out 275 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque, either through the front wheels only or all 4 wheels if you do option all-wheel drive. Now, make sure you guys stay tuned here on the channel for a video covering my driving impressions of this vehicle. But I have to say, this vehicle, even with a turbocharged 4-cylinder power plant and being as large and heavy as it is, actually gets around really without many issues. Now, does that kind of sacrifice refinement and fuel economy a little bit? Well, you guys will have to stay tuned to that video. But I have to say, maybe there might be a little compromise over, say, a naturally aspirated V6 or just a larger displacement engine in general. So that's going to do it for a quick tour of this 2024 Lexus TX 350 all-wheel drive with the luxury package. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and or found it helpful. If you did, make sure to hit that like button below. It greatly helps out the channel in these videos. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure, like I said, to stay tuned for additional content here with this this Lexus TX and eventually the Toyota Grand Highlander as well, and maybe a bit of a back-to-back comparison depending on how quickly I get my hands on with that Toyota Grand Highlander as well. Certainly some big differences here on the interior, and with the different powertrains, they do drive quite differently, but you can option this vehicle with the hybrid system that is also available as an option on the Grand Highlander, which would certainly bring them much closer into how they drive. But anyways, in terms of my thoughts on this vehicle, for about $69,000 to $70,000 as equipped, I think the luxury package certainly adds a lot of creature comforts and amenities on the interior of this vehicle for that price point, which may be expected depending on what vehicles you are cross shopping this vehicle with. I really do like the infotainment UI system with the climate controls all at the bottom. Of course, you have the built-in dials with the displays in the middle for your temperature. Heads-up display and the digital gauge cluster work pretty good as well. The only minor complaint I have in terms of the technology has to do with the eye tracking device here, either in all vehicles or this one in specific. It's just a little bit too sensitive. I would probably end up turning the system off or disabling as much as I could because that notification will simply pop up when you're looking out the window, using the infotainment system, or just driving down the road, looking straight ahead. I had problems with that, just alerting me that I needed to sit up farther, and I was, perfectly straight already. So, yep, that's my only complaint as far as the technology and usability. But outside of that, tons of space on the inside. It drives well. Even being a 4-cylinder turbo engine, and I really do like a lot of the interior bits here on this vehicle. So let me know what you guys think of the Lexus TX and or the Toyota Grand Highlander down in the comment section below. Interested to see if you guys have already been hands-on with the TX yet, or if you are cross-shopping it with any other vehicles, what those vehicles are. It is a little bit on the pricier side of things for most mainstream brands, but this is in the luxury segment, so certainly going to be cross-shop maybe on the luxury side of things as well as on the premium mainstream, if you will, with vehicles such as maybe the Mazda CX-90, Hyundai Palisade, Calligraphy, Telluride, etc. But might also go towards, the Audi Q7, the BMW maybe X5, and other vehicles in that segment. So let me know what you guys think and which vehicles you're cross-shopping it down in the comment section below. Huge thanks to Toyota for sending this vehicle out for me to test and review for you guys. And as always, I appreciate you guys supporting the channel and hope to see you guys in the next one.